In this video, I'll explain the 3 steps in writing out a reply letter. First, you understand the task. The question comes in the form of a letter or an email containing 3 or 4 notes on the side here. These two are the standard instructions. There are a few things to watch out for, so ask yourself when you see this question, who is the writer or the sender? There are 2 places where you can find it. One, it's in the statement at the top here, Armani, and then towards the end of the letter or email where the writer signs off. And then if it's an email, the sender's name is mentioned at the top of the email after the word from, as you can see here. So in your response later, make sure you're writing to the sender, use that name, Armani. Also, knowing who's the sender will also determine the language that we use for formal or informal. And if you're writing to friends, you'll write informally. When you're writing to someone higher in authority, we become formal. The next question we can ask ourselves is, who is the letter or email written to, or who is it for? Usually the clue will be in the salutation here. Hi, someone. In this case, they don't mention any name of the receiver, so you can use your own name to sign off your letter in your response. If the salutation mentions the name of the receiver, such as Dear Lisa, then you should use that Lisa name when signing off the reply letter or email. And then the next question we should ask ourselves is, what's the letter or email about? And for this one, usually the answer is in the statement above here. It's about the school English camp which he missed. So throughout the email, Armani is talking about the camp, and this is where your background knowledge or personal experience comes in handy. When you know what's involved in a camp and you've been into a camp, you'll know what are appropriate words or names to be put into your reply, and this way you could gain more marks. And the next question is, what language is used in the letter or email? Is it formal or informal? For this one, look at the content of the letter or email. If the language sounds formal, we reply in the same manner, formal. If it sounds informal, we can reply informally too. Next, we look at the instructions here, all 4 here. Use all the notes given. That's the first instruction to us. And all the notes here means the 4 notes on the side here. And please don't miss out any of these. So make sure to put all these 4 points into your reply letter or email. The second task is to write a reply. If you get a letter, you'll reply in letter, and if you get an email, you should reply in email format. And the next task is to write at least 100 words. One of the common questions that my students ask me is it alright if I write less than 100 words? Is it okay to write 200 words? In NPM's test specs said that there's no obvious penalty for that, because they'll read your answer as a whole and mark accordingly. But I've seen the examiners count the words in every paper that they mark, kind of like a protocol. So I recommend that you write at least 100 words like it says here. And then how far above 100 word threshold? I've heard of this 15% rule, where your word count is acceptable if it's within 15% from the threshold, meaning in this case you can write up to 115 words. So I would say for this task, keep your word count within 100 to 115 words. And the next task is to write in an appropriate style. either a letter or email. It's according to the question, whether you should write it formally or informally. And appropriate style also means that you need to observe the format for writing email or letter. For example, having the from and subject when writing an email, or having the address and date in a letter, a greeting, a complimentary close, and a sign-off. First, you underline the questions or prompts from the sender. Usually there will be one question for each paragraph. Let me try to do it for you. This is question one. How was the school English camp? And then, what was your favorite activity during the camp? Question 2. Then third, did you like it? What is it? Sharing tense. Question 4, would you like to join me? So you have 4 questions there that you should answer in your reply letter. And then there is one related side note that tells you how to reply for each question. Also underline other related keywords that will help you shape your answer later on, if you can find, if there's any. Now you start to develop the side notes one by one, paragraph by paragraph. Remember, don't leave any notes unused. Use all of these notes in your reply. Then you analyze these side notes. How? First, you ask yourself, how do they expect me to respond? So you look at the note great, and the same is question, how was the camp? Then you can know that you should describe the event, the camp, in a positive and excited manner. Great. By the way, these side notes tell you to demonstrate certain language functions. Like for example here, this is my list of expressions. For example, they could ask you to greet someone in the letter, or how to begin your letter, or how to react to a good news or a bad news, how to accept an invitation or offer, how to decline offer, or how to express your thanks or to apologize, or describe certain feelings or give advice or reasons. And then you think about what to say in the answer. Think about the proper expressions to use in this kind of language function, like describing an event. Also think about how to expand our points. I like to use the WH questions to help me in explaining. So now you write out the answer. This is my example. The camp was really great. I enjoyed it very much, though I really missed having you there. That's the first answer. And the second answer could be, that's true. My favorite was when we were asked to write a poem in English. Then you start to tell a story. When I presented my poem, cheered, said, well, you could create your own story or achievements. And for did you like it? No, because you can write it as no, I don't like it because some campers in my tent were loud and noisy late in the night, and others are trying to sleep. And for the fourth question, would you like to join me in the other camp? And you should tell Armani, of course. Join you. Show some excitement. You can write in a shortened form if it's an informal letter. Great to have you around next time. This is how it can look like. First, remind yourself to use the appropriate format. If you received a letter, reply in letter. If you received an email, reply in email format, like this. Usually you just follow the format given in the question. If you're writing an email, make sure you have a heading at the top mentioning to, where you address the sender just now, which is Armani, and subject, where you create an appropriate heading for the email. For example, we missed you at the camp. Okay. And then end it with a sign off with your name or the recipient name as mentioned in the question, if there's any. A complimentary clause like yours sincerely is not necessary in email, so you can leave it out. Now, if you're writing a letter, what's going to be different from email in terms of formatting is, one, your address is on the right side, and watch where your punctuations are, like the commas and full stop in this email. And then beneath the address, put down the date you're writing the letter. Write this out in full, meaning spell out the name of the month, April, April, and 2021. Next, letters have a complimentary clause, like for example, your friend Lisa. Lisa is signing off with a signature, it's a signature. And these will be put on the right side of the letter. By the way, if you're writing a formal letter, you'd use something like yours sincerely here, or yours faithfully. And if it's an informal letter like this one, you're writing to a friend, you could use your friend like this one. And then don't forget to address the sender in your greeting here. Right, let's go back to our email. Don't forget to address your sender in your greeting. You could replace this with Hi Armani, or Dear Armani on the greeting, comma. Then you bring the points that you've planned earlier here and bring it into the email. Again, your answers should be arranged following the sequence in the question. So I'll start with the first one. I'll copy this and put it here. So that's the first paragraph. You can do it by paragraphs, so it's clearer for you and the examiners, I believe. Second answer in the second paragraph. Let me bring this down. Third answer. Put it in the third paragraph. Oops. Alright. Okay. So now we have the answers. While you're writing this, do check that you use the right expressions, and also watch for the tone of your letter, whether it's informal or formal. Is it appropriate to the profile of the sender just now? And don't add unnecessary or irrelevant info. Just answer what is asked or prompted by the sender. And you have a 100-word limit too, so you can't write much. When you're done writing, review it if there are any errors in spelling or grammar, and make sure your word count is within 100 to 115 words. Then to close this letter, you can write see you soon, or things like that. Yeah, let me change this to black. So this is an example, a sample answer for reply email. Now if you're writing a letter, we can just copy, not in the test, but I'm saying you can use the same points here and bring it to your letter, and you can change the greeting, hi Armani or dear Armani, comma, close it with see you soon. Alright, change this to black. So this is how your reply letter could look like. I'd like to credit these authors, as I have referred a lot to their works when creating this video. And for trained teachers or examiners, do fill in the feedback form. I've dropped a link in the description below if you have found discrepancies or errors in this video. And I really appreciate your help in clarifying any concerns raised by our candidates in the comments section below. And for candidates, it's a best practice to check the date of this video to see if it's up to date, and always refer to the MPM website for any updates on MUET.